I am so stoked for this Top 5 Wednesday prompt. I have been looking forward to when the inspiration hit for the characters. I was like, yes, I am ready to talk about how these girls can slay. Hello friends, happy Wednesday. So very excited that you are here. It is the first Top 5 Wednesday of June. Almost said May. Definitely June. Time is just flying by, but in case if you're not familiar with Top 5 Wednesday, in a nutshell, basically each week I answer a prompt using 5 books, but in this case I do manga to reflect the said prompt. And today's prompt is Girl Boss. We are talking about those female characters who absolutely slay in every situation that they are in. It doesn't matter how many times that people try to knock them down, they get back up and they prove the world that they are a boss. Oh my goodness, I'm so stoked for this prompt. I feel like I've never done a prompt like this at all, so I'm like, man, I'm ready to gush about these characters, so we're gonna go ahead and just jump right in today. For number 1, she was not my number 1 pick, so to speak, for my last Top 5 Wednesday video talking about different princesses in fiction, so today she's gonna be number 1 because, yes, I'm about to go into that. Yona from Yona of the Dawn. I feel like there is no other shoujo manga heroine that slays the same way that Yona does. At least that I have personally read. There may be other amazing female characters who slay even more than she does, but I feel like out of the shoujo manga that I have read, Yona slays. I mean, she may start out not as this incredible heroine that's very strong, and I mean, I definitely feel like she's admirable. She's going through a lot in the beginning. I never disliked Yona. Some people are like, don't worry, she may be whiny in the beginning, but she gets better. I never felt that way because I'm like, she went through a lot of trauma and she just grows so incredibly much throughout this series. It's absolutely amazing. I feel like there's plenty of ways that I could gush about how amazing Yona is, but I feel like I keep talking about Yona in recent Top 5 Wednesday videos, so I don't want to gush too much today about her. But again, I really do feel that she is one of the ultimate girl bosses, and I'm just amazed how she is able to show compassion and love and just able to do the things that she does and not despair, especially when these other men, not the dragons and not Hawk and not Yoon obviously, but other male characters, that when they try knocking her down, that she is able to stand her ground and show what she can bring to the table, so to speak, and that they should not disqualify her simply because they don't want her around for, you know, reasons that are going on in the story. No, and so I felt like just Yona had to be featured because I think of those moments and I'm just like, girl, you're slaying. You're killing it and you need to just keep rocking it. I cannot remember which cover it is, but I will show it here. Yona looks like the ultimate girl boss on this cover. I absolutely love it. I think that that one releases like next year, and I'm gonna hold off on probably reading it right away because I was just talking to a friend yesterday. She was like, I would recommend that you binge read at least 2 or 3 volumes together because she's like, there's a lot of heartbreak and a lot of crushing things that are happening right now, and Yona just has so much probably weighing on her and being thrown at her, but again, she just continues to stand strong and hold her ground. For number 2, I had to bring some shonen up in this prompt because I love this manga, and I'm going to say Shinomiya and Mina from Kaiju number 8. I never realized how similar their names were until I went to go look up Shinomiya's name because for whatever reason, I never can remember her name, and I feel so bad. And this here is Mina. She is the captain of the, I was about to say guard. I've been reading Snow with the Red Hair, and I'm like, they are not aides, they are not guards, or not. But the defense forces, oh goodness, I don't know what happened there, but Shinomiya is absolutely a girl boss. I love her in this series, though I did not love her at first because I felt that she came off very arrogant and very know-it-all. She may be those things, but it's obvious when you read this manga, she can slay in each and every situation, and I mean that literally and figuratively. I have really admired her strength and just how she is giving her all, especially in the latest volume, volume 6. She is just becoming one of my favorite characters in this series. I mean, I feel like it's easy to really like all of the characters, honestly. They're so great. They're so fantastic. I love this manga so much. I highly recommend it. But Shinomiya has really just worn on me of how we get her backstory and we see the things that she has overcome and how she's really had to sort of not shut down her emotions, but she has had to fight in many different ways. And I won't go into that because I feel like it would be spoilers, but I do feel female that's surrounded by all of these men, and that her being one of the strongest and how she has fought so hard to get recognized for other reasons, not just because she wants to. Also with that, how I feel like I sort of lost my train of thought, but I was saying also with that, and how too that she is able to learn how to befriend those around her, especially Kafka. I feel like when you're being a girl boss, yes, you need to slay, but also you have to listen to your companions as well and see how your companions look out for you. Maybe that's not like girl boss status, but I feel like maybe there's just so much with Shinomiya that she's a very heavy layer girl boss to me. I feel like I'm sort of floundering on Shinomiya, but I really loved her character, and I just feel like she looks so cool on this cover. I had loved so much when she showed up on volume 6, and I feel like when we first meet her, she doesn't show many emotions except for anger and frustration. Not to the same level as Bakugo from My Hero Academia, but I feel like with volume 6, we got to see a more emotional side of her, and I really love that she's feeling more and more confident in her skills and herself and her abilities, and those who are around her who are encouraging her, that a girl boss doesn't have to just slay with a very hard expression, but that you can show emotions. Like, these women do not have to shut themselves, that part of them, emotional side, down at all. I hope that made sense. I'm gonna stop there because I feel like I was floundering a little bit, and I'm like, like, why? Not for this series, because everybody's amazing, but I definitely feel like Shinomiya slays and fits this prop so incredibly well. For number 3, this is not the same kind of slay as Yona and Shinomiya are doing, but I'm gonna say Saki from Me and My Beast Boss. I did talk about this in my latest reading wrap-up video. She was one of the first people that came to mind of Girl Boss because the harassment that she has faced at her job is so horrible, and that she has not quit. That the more people try to bring her down, the harder she is fighting back. She refuses to quit this job despite that she is the only human that is working at this company. Like, she is just not going to quit. And I'm like, girl, yes, you tell these people, you show these other people who have animal-like qualities, or animal-like features, excuse me, that you are not going to be put down. Part of what made this story really moving is because Mr. Atlas, the CEO, her new boss, recognizes those skills, and she never quits. She never gives up. When you see what happens and takes place and how she is verbally harassed, but I was going to say physically harassed, it is so frustrating. It's so angering. It's very upsetting. And I'm just like, I hope that you prove every single one of those men that have knocked you down at your job over and over, that they have just made fun of you, that they have degraded you. I'm like, girl, you stand up and you be the best kind of secretary that you can to Mr. Atlas, and prove all of those people wrong, that they just didn't have a chance. They don't even need to be in the picture anymore. And I feel like she is starting to show that and reflect that in this first volume. Like, I'm just like, girl, yes, you are slaying. Even if she doesn't feel that way, I really think that she is doing so much more girl bossing than she ever realizes. Like, it's the kind of girl bossness where she is paving the way for other females behind her to rise up and be able to, I wouldn't say necessarily work at this place, I mean, I guess you could say at her job, but that they too can just rise up and slay the situation in wherever job that they may be in. Like, I really feel like she is an incredible example of just standing firm, standing strong, though I would never ever want anybody to see or be in the same situation that Saki was in when it comes to the beginning, when it comes to her old boss. Just, I put in my Goodreads review that man needs to be thrown in jail and he needs to rot in there. I was so angry. It's so frustrating. So we're not going to talk about that guy because he does not deserve any kind of limelight, spotlight, any of it, because Saki, she slayed in this manga. It was very moving and very, very emotional to see. On the flip side of, like, sometimes I guess these girl bosses, they're standing strong. We've seen it with Yona as well, that they put on this brave face and they are being brave. Like, it's not just something in that moment, like they're being strong, but then they have these moments of vulnerability where we see as readers the toll that girl bossness has taken on them to have that strong face. And I feel like that is just a beautiful part of being a girl boss, that they don't have to be just strong and fierce like they are, but that they can be vulnerable as well. And I'm thankful that these ladies have characters around them, have men around them, women around them, who can just reaffirm to them that they're doing amazing and that just to not give up, because they show that when you have that title title Girl Boss, it is not easy. This is a really, really good manga. I did mention that reading wrap up that there are a few triggering points, and that's part of why I chose Saki, because of what she has gone through, what we see as the reader, that she is incredible to stand as strong as she has. For number 4, I'm so excited to feature this one because I have been hardcore in the binge reading cave of this, and I'm going to say Kiki from Snow with the Red Hair. I wrestled with showing this cover, or I think it's volume 19's cover, but Kiki looks more like a princess and just more nobility-like, and here she is the guardsman, and we get her backstory. I don't remember what volume it is, but oh my goodness, when I read it, I was like, Kiki, you are a girl boss, and I must feature you for this video. Kiki is amazing. Shirai Yuki is too, but I don't feel like she is the same girl bossness as Kiki, and so that's why I wanted to feature Kiki instead, because I love her. She is just amazing, and I love how strong she is, how dependable she is, and just she has a different fierceness where she's very quiet and doesn't say much, but when she does, they are such strong and they can be really moving words. Like, she knows how to encourage those around her with just the smallest of things, like of what she's saying, and just the decisions she has made to be a guard for Prince Zen is wow. And even when things are happening later, like, because this is a really chill series, but then a few volumes ago, I was like, there's quite a bit of blood that's on page right now. Nothing gory or graphic, but there are very high stakes, and Kiki slayed in those situations. I admired how cool-headed she was. I mean, obviously, she was definitely angry, rightfully so, but still, she was able to make very good decisions in the heat of the moment, heat of the anger, and I just admired her on so many levels. I feel like I admire her because I'm just like, girl, I was about to say you're slaying, but I feel like that's how I keep repeating myself by accident in this video. I don't want to go into spoilers though about how she is a girl boss because of her backstory, but it's very moving. It's like she's just made some really tough decisions, and to be a knight and an aide and a guard for Prince Zen is so incredible, and I feel like speaks volumes of her character due to the things that have happened. I think that's as spoiler-free as I can get it, and I don't want to gush too much because I am going to be having my Snow White the Red Hair video review coming out on Friday. I'm very excited, but Kiki is a girl boss, and she is awesome. Love her. For number 5, this character is the ultimate inspiration for this video, and that is Penelope from Villains Are Destined to Die. I love Penelope. I feel like there's no greater girl boss than her. She is slaying each and every situation with her brothers, with these other men in her life, and I'm just like, girl, I admire how you just keep an edge to you where you're just on your toes and you are prepared to just have these comebacks. Like, I don't know how she does it, but with Reynolds, I'm like, girl, that situation, she just slayed. I mean, I feel like every single volume she has, this is volume 3, but specifically in this volume, I feel like her girl bossness just went to new heights, has new layers, and I just really, really love her. I wish there was more merch of her. I do have one, thankfully, thanks to my friend Nick getting me an acrylic stand. I need more because I feel like I just really love her character so much. It's hard for me to put her girl bossness into words because I feel like she's just thrown into these situations and she's always being looked down upon. Like, it doesn't matter what the situation is. Like, there's hardly ever a situation where she's looked at in a positive light. She's always fighting for her life. Maybe not literally where she's using swords and such, but she is fighting for her right to be happy in this world and just be able to have a nice and easy life, but when that she's not worried that she might die from one of these guys. It is so very good. I cannot recommend this manhwa enough. It is so gorgeous. This is another one that I gushed about in my reading wrap up. I love the characters, except for Reynolds. I do not love Reynolds. We will not go into that, but I talked about it a little bit in that video, but I don't like him, but I like a lot of the other characters, and it's just very good, and I can't get enough of it. I'm like, Penelope, you are going to be the girl boss in my mind. That, like, if girl boss, if we were to go look up the definitions they say in the dictionary, you're going to see a face of Penelope because that is how much I love her. I do. That's all I'm going to say. I love her. It's a great story, and please go read to see the girl bossness in action because it is amazing. For my honorable mention, I'm changing up a little bit. This is not on my list, but then I saw it's chilling by my desk, and I'm like, you know what? I feel like she's probably a girl boss character, and that is Kyoko from Skip Beat. I recently got one of a sticker of her and the guy. I can't remember the guy's name, but they were just so cute, and I was like, you know what? I think Kyoko is a girl boss because this is a revenge story, and I believe believe the guy that she's been with, Sho, which I think is him, they have been dating, I think, for a really long time. He dumps her to go into showbiz, and she's like, you know what, I'm gonna go to showbiz too, and sort of one-up him and get revenge that way. From my understanding, she goes above and beyond and slays in a variety of situations. I feel like that's part of maybe why this series is so loved from the people I know who have read it, because they just talk about how amazing Kyoko is and the things that she does. I can't give examples because I haven't read the manga just yet. I actually have to go pick up the rest of the volumes of the series. The art is really unique and it seems really, really funny. And I'm excited to see how Kyoko does slay at being a girl boss, because I really feel from what I've heard that she is, though I'm sorry I can't give you any clear examples of how or why I feel that way. And I suppose that wraps up all of my girl boss picks. Love all of these girl bosses. I feel like they are totally amazing and just, they slay in their stories. They're just very strong female women that I admire and hope that if I were ever in that situation, some of them like Saki's, I hope I'm never in, but if I were ever to find myself in a situation, I hope that I can make those strong decisions where they just don't back down regardless of what anybody is telling them in a negative way, not like, you know, their fam and their friends that are encouraging them, but when it comes to that, to those voices that are pulling them down, that I can just rise above like these girl bosses do. But I would love to hear from you, friends. What are some girl bosses in fiction that you absolutely love and would love to see get some spotlight? I would love to hear from you. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching. Bye!